You may hear as an objection when you're in your sales organization, hey, what's my ROI going to be? Let me answer this a few different ways for you, okay? Depending on which services you're presenting are obviously going to dictate and deviate which ROI somebody's going to get dependent on what you are servicing their account with. If you're doing social media services and you can't typically track a direct ROI to sales, you need to sell them differently than if you're going to be doing digital marketing, and you could predict or project an ROI. So let's start with the basics, social media marketing. So what's my ROI going to be for these social media services? Great question. Let me ask you a question in retort. How much or how many people typically convert off of an awareness to get somebody to simply remember the brand to then buy at a later time if they don't buy in the immediate time in the short term? So both short term and long term, your gains, if you will, your ROI will come from a lot of mixed places that I don't really have the ability to track. But here's the thing. Commonly, and why most businesses nowadays are even using social media, is because there is something that occurs. It's just hard to track right now. You see, if I put content out for you on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, all these other things, or whatever things you're specifically covering for them, I can assure you that getting in front of the people who you're potentially going to convert will potentially convert them. However, because I can't track it, I can't tell you that you're going to get a 5-to-1 return or a 2-to-1 return. I can tell you this though, a majority of companies today, small and large companies alike, are investing in people inside and outside of their organizations to help them service their social media marketing accounts. That being said, they do it for a reason, and so do you, and it's not just to do it. It's because it counts as an impression, and because it gets your brand remembered and helps you stand above the noise, helps you stay a part of the reality of your potential customers and your current customers, build your brand both in the short term and the long term, and of course drive sales. I just can't sell you on how many it's going to drive. I encourage you though, let's get started to find out. Sign here and here. You might also hear, what's my ROI going to be when we do this marketing campaign together? Great question. I encourage questions like that too, so if you ever have any in the future, be sure to speak up and let me know, because expectations are success. You see, the ROI for your campaign when we start doing these Facebook ads and these Google PPC ads is going to come after we figure out the type of campaign we need to run. You see, we might swing at the plate and completely miss. We have this plan built right now, but I need you to know, we're prepared to change this plan completely and come up with a brand new one in real time, just in case this one doesn't work. We are projected to do a 2-to-1 return on this campaign, which means we're gonna spend $1 and get $2 back. Or if we're generating leads, we're not gonna necessarily tell you how many leads we're gonna generate. We're just gonna tell you logically from the actions that we take, we should generate leads in a pretty high frequency. And we'll be sure to report whatever we generate for you in real time. If you have any questions throughout the process or need updates from us in higher frequency, if you're doing lead generation, do it every day. If you're doing sales, do it every day. If you're not getting sales or leads every day, do it once a week. Now, that being said, our current frequency for reporting is monthly, weekly, daily, and we can increase that or decrease that as necessary or as you see fit. We don't really like to sell people on the ROI of what they can get with us because it is marketing, and it is an intangible marketing service at that. If anybody in the market could predict your exact return on investment that you would get from any kind of marketing efforts, they would be the monopoly of the digital advertising space, and I'm sure that you'd be signing up with them instead of me. I'm not going to oversell you on something that I don't have the ability to assure you on. I'm going to be integrous and truthful and let you know that I could fail completely in my efforts. However, from my experience and from my expertise, I have confidence that the plan that we've created together, and from my diligency to be able to be dynamic and switch plans if this doesn't work, is going to be something that is of the utmost importance for our ability to execute a return for you and get you a 2-to-1 return on investment. I assure you at the minimum we'll be able to double whatever it is that you spend with us today, and I encourage you, let's get started so we can get those returns coming in. Sign here and here. Now, if you are selling anybody on an ROI, you have to understand the reason I even mentioned 2-to-1 is because if you can't get a 2-to-1, you shouldn't be doing marketing, period. If you can't get them some kind of return and you actually aren't confident you can get them a return, don't take on the client. If you know you can get them a return, take on the client, but undersell them and then over-deliver. Whenever you undersell and over-deliver, you're going to have the ability to over-deliver and take that person one step ahead of where they would be if they were only a satisfied customer. And a satisfied customer is only one step away from being an unsatisfied customer. Undersell, over-deliver. That's what you need to say when anybody asks about ROI for 2 different kinds of services that you may offer. I'll see you in the next video.